Thanks, Andy. -6 right now, 7:33 at the airport. Good morning, everyone. We will be learning a lot more today about a shooting that killed a man involving a Calgary police officer inside a motel in the city's northeast. Detectives are back on scene this morning at a Super 8 motel in the 3300 block of Barlow Trail. The Alberta Serious Incident Response Team is now leading the investigation. ASIRT has been on the case ever since shots rang out just before 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. A bullet hole can actually be seen in the window of the room on the 4th floor where this all happened. It all started when officers responded to reports of a man behaving strangely inside a hotel room. Police arrived and they found a chain on the door, but they could see and hear that the man inside appeared to be agitated and in some sort of medical distress. Officers then broke into the room trying to subdue the man with non-lethal force, but at some point an officer fired his gun, shooting the man who died on scene.
The officer involved has 3 years experience with the Calgary Police Service and an additional 20 years policing with other agencies.
ASIRT will likely be holding a news conference today updating the investigation. At this point, we do not know the age or the name of the victim. It's now 7:34. Starting next fall, grade 12 students will get more credit for their coursework, putting less emphasis on provincial exams. As it stands, diploma exams make up 50% of a student's grade. With the new rules, it will fall on a 70-30 percentage scale, meaning coursework will make up 70% of a student's grade, and grade 12 student's grade, while the exam will be 30%. Education Minister Gordon Dirk says the emphasis will allow to better measure what a student has actually learned and retained.
Many Canadian provinces place less emphasis on grade 12 exams or do not have diploma exams at all, and their students often do just as well overall in comparison to Alberta students on interprovincial rankings.
A 50% weighting on one exam for a whole course is far too high. Teachers, parents, school board trustees that I've spoken with around the province have been calling for something that's more in line with the rest of the country, which is more of a 70-30 split.
The first round of diploma exams to be written with the new weighting will take place in November of this year. Spreading awareness when it comes to mental health. That's what Calgary's first Mental Health and Anti-Stigma Summit is hoping to do. Students and teachers from local schools are learning about mental illness and the challenges those suffering face. The summit also looks at stereotypes that get thrown around and the effects of those words.
When kids get help, when anybody gets help early, it makes a real difference in terms of them recovering. Recovery is possible, and so there's hope.
According to the Mental Health Commission, by the age of 25, about 20% of Canadians will have developed some sort of mental illness. Calgary Flames back in action tonight at the Scotiabank Saddledome as they try to keep pace in the playoff race in the West, and what a race it is. This should be a tough test for our Flames. The Central Division leading St. Louis Blues are in Calgary tonight. The Blues have won 4 of their last 5 games. The Flames have only 1 regulation loss, by the way, in their last 7. Puck drop tonight, 7 o'clock. You can catch this one on Sportsnet West or listen to it on Sportsnet 960 The Fan. 7:36, time to focus on business. Our business editor, Mike Eppel, joining us now. And Mike, mortgage rates may be on the move.
Yeah, they are at the Bank of Montreal this morning, Ted. They just announced that they're cutting rates by another 20 basis points, down from 2.99% on a 5-year fixed rate, down to 2.79%. So we're getting close here to the record lows for borrowing costs at the big banks. Recall, this follows the Bank of Canada's interest rate reduction in January, and at that point the banks were a little hesitant to cut rates. They eventually did, but only by 15 basis points for the most part. The theory being that they'd wait until the spring real estate season, which is typically the busiest of the year. They want to drum up some business, get some battles going between the major lenders and the Bank of Montreal, first off the mark to do so this morning. So it's going to be interesting to see specifically how this helps the Calgary market or Edmonton market specifically, because obviously the sale of real estate has slowed with the falling price for oil. And in the hottest markets, Vancouver and Toronto, does this further propel the prices for new homes to already elevated levels? And is there much room for more Canadians to borrow more? Because we've already heard that we have record high debt to income ratios. So a lot of factors at play with this Bank of Montreal move today. talk this morning as well. The Bank of Canada next month could lower interest rates even further because we continue to see the price for oil drop on world markets. The WTI price right now holding just about $43 a barrel, still pretty much a 6-year low. The Western Canada Select price around $30 per barrel, so it's dropping. The oversupply persists. And coming up tomorrow, U.S. Department of Energy expected to report record inventory levels supply in the U.S. energy system once again. We're watching all this play out in the Toronto Stock Exchange. Energy stocks down in the early trade this morning. And here's not really a surprise, but back last fall, Target Canada, the executives there were already talking about their exit strategy from the Canadian market, how they were going to restructure, if at all, because they were losing millions of dollars per month. They were talking about maybe just cutting back. It came out in early January. The executives stateside decided they're out of Canada, announced that shutdown on January 15th of all 133 Target Canada stores. But the suppliers still want to find out exactly the background on that, when all the discussion points were going on and how much Target was still buying, even though they were thinking about shutting things down. Ted, back to you.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, Mike. That's our business editor, Mike Apple, reporting this morning. You can hear Mike on 660 News at 26 and 56 after the hour.